In this video, I'm going to show you how to create an XML from Excel data. So let's say I have this table, okay, first name, last name, title, genre, and so on. And I want to create an XML because I need to submit that via API. Let's say shop API. How can I do this? Okay, so that's why I prefer this way. So I created a template XML. This is the book. This is the author with the first name, last name, and title, genre, price, published date, and so on. So I just created one simple book object in this particular XML structure, and now I'm going to clone this and then recreate with new data from this Excel. So let's say for the first row, now I'm going to get this child element, okay, this book, last child element. Actually you can take the first one as well, it doesn't actually matter because we only have one child element. So I'll get this, and then I'm going to say, okay, for this one give me the also, that is the first child, then first child dot text equals to whatever we have in this particular section, right? And for the first row I'm going to replace with the newly created child, and any other rows I'm going to append child. So let me show you the real code. Okay, so you can see create XML from template. This is my template XML file path. I'm loading that using this load method. Now I'm going to get the catalog using this XML document element. Now I'm going to get the data from the table using this set2.list object. Now I need to look through each of those rows of that particular table, and I want to create the XML, right? So what I did, like, just look through this and then give me the first book or last book, you can say. You can take the first one or last one, it actually doesn't matter. So get this current book as msxml2.ixml dom element. So catalog.lastchild.clone node. So this is the method that I'm using, this clone node, and it's going to clone that particular node. And the deep, that means that if it's going to clone all the nested element of that particular node or not. So let's say for this book one, so this is our descendant child, right? Like it's the first generation of this book. But for this author, the first name or last name, that is actually a nested structure. So if we say deep equals to true, then it is going to clone the whole structure with the nesting. But if it says like deep equals to false, so let me just show you. Let's run this. Now if I just see that what we have in this current XML, current book XML, then you can see this is that first name, last name, and so on. Let me just see, what if I just say false and .xml, then you can see it's just going to give me this book, right? It doesn't actually create all the child element of that particular book, right? So that's why this clone node and deep parameter is true. Okay, now I'm just going to update this. You can see the first child, that is going to be the author, then first child, that is going to be the first name, dot text is going to be whatever we have in this first column, and in the same way first child, last child, and children node, and so on. So we are going to replace all of those text from this templated XML, right, templated element, and I'm going to replace with the data that we have in the table, right? Now once you get this, now I'm saying that, okay, if this is the first row index, that means if it's for the first row, then I already had that templated element, right? So I just want to replace that templated with the newly created this current book, that is the clone one. So that's why I'm saying catalog.replace child. So replace with this current book and replace that last one with this current book. Now if you are using this first child instead of last child here, then you need to use first child here as well. Okay, actually it also doesn't matter because we only have one child, but to be consistent you should use like last child or first child. Now in case of any other rows, I just want to append that with the current structure. And if I just run this, then if I just want to see that, okay, what do we have in this XML doc.xml, then you can see catalog book, and this is the first name and last name from the Excel side, Matthew, and if you look into this, it says Matt, right? So it replaced that first one. Now if I run again, then let's see what we have. Now you can see we have two books. This is the first book, this is the second book, right? And this scheme Rails, and if you see this scheme Rails, right? Now it's appending the child element in the catalog structure, right? Now at the end, let me just get rid of this, and at the end you can see we have all the book element in this particular XML. And that's how we should create an XML from Excel data. And this is really useful when you want to submit this via API and you have a template. You can just replicate this template using this structure. Okay, So that's it for this video. In the next video, we are going to talk about how to shape this on a XML file. If you find this video helpful, consider subscribing and sharing this video with others. Have a good day.